Okay, another thing that I wanted to touch on today is, as we are beginning this new year, potentially a new era, I wanted to refocus and remind us and remember that what we're here to do is follow our joy. And that is an idea that can get very confused. It can sound like hedonism to people. It can sound irresponsible. It can also sound very frustrating if you have circumstances in your life that make it feel like you don't have the freedom that you'd like. So I want to talk what I mean by following your joy and why that is important. I believe that joy is a human measurement, is a human sensation that is built into us in the same way that so many of our sensation tools are. When we get too close to fire, we feel pain. Our body gives us that experience as a tool to steer us back on track. When we rub our genitals against something, that feels awesome. That is to push us towards that reproductive act of sexuality. When we feel joy, that is the universe telling us that you are getting in alignment with your purpose, with your heart song. And I mean joy, not just happiness, not just pleasure. Joy. Joy is the way you feel when you do something wonderful for somebody else, when you help out someone, when you help your family, when you gift, when you shower someone with love and see the way that they experience that. Joy is the way you feel when you create something, not for anyone else, but for yourself. When you release some creative inspiration and find yourself in this place of frantic pasting, cutting, writing, that's a joy. That experience, that sensation is not selfish. That is a message. That is a direction. That is the GPS saying, stay on path. Stay on path. And that reminder of ourselves, to ourselves, is huge. Because the world often will try to convince you that that's a selfish thing. The world will try to convince you that you are being irresponsible. For many years, my site was called Cocky Bastard, and I had a very kind of intention to try to really work on myself, really get in touch with myself, really try to focus on the values and pressures and voices and directions that I was hearing, and trying to discern, is this me, or is this coming from the outside that I have just internalized because of the hypnosis and the enculturation of my socialized experience? And doing that process publicly made a lot of people think, what a dick. What an incredibly selfish guy. Why don't I would get posts all the time. Why don't you spend some of that hug energy and go help the homeless? And I really kind of struggled with that. And I felt there was a lot of times I was really knocked down, feeling like I was not being a good person on the planet because I was so me-focused. But I had faith that I know that this being, this consciousness, is by far the thing that I have the most control over in my human experience, in my interaction with the universe. This mind, this body, this awareness is my spaceship. I need to learn what is a control that is important, what is a button that does nothing, what is a script that has been planted in by somebody that is not on my team. And that process, I had faith that if I stripped it all away, I would get to a place where I was doing the will of the universe. And had this massive kind of whoa experience a couple years ago when found myself leading the Help the Homeless First Saturdays project. Not from a place of I need to do something good, but just in that trusting the flow, trusting the joy, and saying yes to opportunities that fell in front of me that seemed like loving, joyous things. There was no sacrifice. There was no, I should do this. It was just, okay, yes, okay, yes, okay, yes. And all of a sudden, kind of after several months, looked around, and there was this crowd of people that was all feeling joy as they were doing these acts of kindness and compassion and connection. And it was like, this is what I thought was going to happen. I knew it. I didn't know it, but I had faith. And to see that path unfold through surrender, through faith in love, through faith in knowing that there was a pull in my heart that would lead me there if I just trusted it. That changed my life. And now when sometimes people will say, thank you, or, oh, that's so inspiring, I'm like, are you kidding me? That is amazing, because I feel like all I've been doing is following bliss, following joy in a selfish way. And so that's why I know that joy, following your bliss, is not a selfish path. It is the way that we are, it is the map built into our DNA, built into something deeper than our DNA, built into the vibration of the universe that we need to just have faith in and follow and often trust, because the way it looks in every one moment is not something that you can ever really understand. You can be faced with voices from the outside judging you, telling you that blah, 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 blah. You might hear it in the voices that you've built over time, judging your own actions. And you have to remind yourself that I don't have a vantage point to understand this. The Course in Miracles says we never know if we are in advance or retreat. How many times have you had something happen that you just think is horrible? You lose your wallet, and then you're at the DMV, and in line for the DMV, you just lock eyes with somebody who just makes your heart go, oh. Someone breaks up with you, and you scream to the universe, why? Please, why? I want them back, please. And then 2 years later, go, thank you, God, for not letting me stay in that horrible relationship. So, as 2012 gets rolling and uncertainty becomes the norm, practice surrender, practice hearing the joy, feeling the joy, and as you feel it, go towards it. Life is about lots of teeny tiny corrections towards alignment. Little, little, little. Don't get caught up in where the destination is. Don't get caught up in how big your steps are. It's always a tiny step towards alignment. Tiny step, tiny step. And when joy is the map, you will find yourself as a servant of the divine, in service to love, and then your joy becomes this vibration that aligns with other people. It amplifies their joy, and you are a gift. And if you can see yourself in that way, it can also be a way that can help you interact with the world. When you can remind yourself that that's what you are. You are a vessel of this divine love. And as you go into strange places, as you feel insecurity kicking in, you're like, wait, I don't need to do anything here. I am here as an ambassador of God. I am here as a spreader of love and light. All I need to do is smile and be open. And anyone that doesn't respond to that is clearly not a vibrational match to me, and not the kind of person that is really where I'm at in my path. But the people that do resonate with that, they will so appreciate it. They will connect with you. You will connect with them. And you will amplify one another. And then that joy tsunami, that joy flood, that joy vibration becomes the way you wake up, the way you go to bed, and the way you realign yourself as all the distractions of the day try to pull you out of alignment. So, thank you for being a massive part of that realignment process for me. So full of gratitude. So honored to share this experience, to share this time, this now, this planet. Thank you. Namaste.